How you going, people? This is a lot of people are posting a lot of articles on this on the Facebook page. Think the cop. Um, Look, this is a. Don't be hating on me. I'm not taking the cop's side, but I don't think he's going to get convicted of crap. Anyway, now that I got everybody, what are you kidding? Okay, so the deputy stayed outside during the shooting, and this little 1 minute video kind of shows a little bit of kind of what goes on, where the gunman entered. He starts shooting like 15 seconds later. Uh, this guy comes over, the deputy comes over right here. This is Peterson. He gets on the radio, but I don't know why they don't go in. And you don't know why. And nobody knows why. And he's running around to the front side. So, and then he gets a ride, I think, on this little golf cart here. And they bring him to the front and they bring him to the back, and shooting goes on, and then the guy ends up leaving. And this cop never engages him. Now, my personal opinion is different than my professional expertise opinion on testifying as experts in court is different. My personal opinion is this dude's chicken shit. He should have went in there and defended these kids. He had a freaking gun and a vest, and he's a pansy for not going in. Now, my professional opinion on what's fair, he's going to walk. This is typical government. Government's not required to act. The only time cops get sued is when they act. This is going to be his defense. They're going to say that, look, there was no policy that required him to go in. He was a lone officer going in there by himself. He could have jeopardized other officers entering. He didn't know whether other officers were entering or not entering. He didn't know if he was outnumbered. He didn't know if the guy had multiple weapons or was killing or was taking hostages. If he went in there, he could have caused a hostage situation. There are going to be 1,000 excuses on how you can justify why a lone officer did not go in there. Now, you, me, and most people with two brain cells are going to say, you know what? He's a freaking cop. He's a government employee. He's been hired to protect the children. He's on a school with a gun. He should have went in. That doesn't matter. What matters is, can you prove, in order to prove and convict a cop, you have to prove he was violating policy and acting out of the scope of his employment. He didn't act. So you don't have acting out of the scope of the employment. Not going in is not acting. Unfortunately, this guy is going to walk. Now, they did charge him one count of perjury because he said in a statement that he didn't hear shooting. And other witnesses said they didn't hear shooting. I don't think they're going to get that perjury charge unless he admitted to it, because nobody can say what he heard and what they heard. I guarantee you there's a lot of people that can hear shit that I can't hear. This guy's 56 years old. He's probably got hearing loss. His defense attorney is going to show you his hearing loss, probably going to say he should have hearing aids. Who cares what the witnesses heard of the gunshots? You can't say the guy's committing perjury because another witness says, I heard gunshots, and he said he didn't. So I think this guy's going to walk, not to mention there was just the Castle case in the U.S. Supreme Court where the cops didn't respond and the guy ended up killing the 3 kids, and the Supreme Court says, you know what? Cops don't have to respond. Cops don't have to do that. They don't have to respond the way you want. He was there, he got on the radio, and if I remember correctly, when this incident happened, this cop was cleared by the department. The agency said he did nothing wrong and there was no problem. Now, because of all the public outcry and because you got parents on there crying their kids are dead, he's been fired, another officer's been fired. Their attorneys are saying they're scapegoats. I personally think they are scapegoats. Not that the guy isn't a wimp and doesn't deserve some wrath, but you can't be picking and choosing on when you think government acts. This is typical behavior for government. This is what happens when you give the guns to the government and rely on them to protect you. This is nothing new, and they can't charge cops for not doing nothing. I'm telling you, this guy's going to walk. If he doesn't, it'll be a lynching, it'll be BS, and it'll be overturned in appeal. But that's my take. You guys can argue it out in the comments. I think the guy's walking. Well, not there.